It is very difficult, especially this time. There's no Zhuangzi to really bail you out from crowd control. So this time it is W to the death, or even a truth mantra coming in from 90 from different or shady angles here. And finally, you have the Yuhuan with the double ending sorrow pushing front against you here. But good news is for FE, they have strong lanes, they have Byron, they have Pei. That is a super duper good early game coming in from FE HK. But this is game number 1. Best of 7, last slot to the KIC for these two teams.
You set the tone and you make sure you have the lead. This is not just in the physical sense, but the emotional sense as well. As it looks like Fearless, they will be able to check the brushes, get some eyes and vision onto ACC and Highlang. And this is going to disallow them from having that super hard engage into the jungle.
And without this, all this that is being set up for us, we have our tournament official sponsor. Realme is the official gaming phone. The Realme 15 Pro, built for performance, made for gaming, smooth, cool, reliable, just the way esports demands. Ready to level up? Get yours now and feel the difference.
And the demands are pretty high at this point of the game because you want to be able to secure that Firehawk. And right now, TL, just being a nuisance, right, gets the full stack of the first and second skills, allowing for that Mega Matrix to be shown up. And at this point, it did not have too much advantage because Twisted Minds, there is still that Firehawk for contention here.
It will be very difficult, especially coming in from Twisted Minds, because FE, they have a smite setup on the Zhang phase, so it wouldn't be a smart choice to really contest something that is so 80-20 in that exchange. So the smart move is just play safe, because you know in that late game, in that mid game, Highlang, Shanks, Queen, they will come out exceptionally strong.
That's right. And Fearless, I like the way they have rotated and made the plays with regards to the resource management, right? So they get that Firehawk at the bottom. They also don't lose prior on the space sprite. And this is going to be a very slight goal lead, but a goal lead nonetheless.
Goal lead is always favored in these attempts here, especially in towards the early game here. But this goes to show how strong FEHK has drafted for themselves in their early game, right? Because you have KK on the lane suit that does traditionally well against the Floorborn Marksman. You have Snow on the Dharma that also does really well against Dharma in the laning phase here. So their early to mid game tempo revolves around these two strong side lanes with the Pei to find these active map resources.
I really want to see how Miku plays this, right? Because they're actually aiding him. TL actually, knowing that he does not have the best early start to the game, he will actually be assisting Miku to really ramp up the jungling speed. At the same time, Twisted Minds has a different idea. It's really about making sure that Shanks has enough space to farm.
But Highlang here, game force out the first unending sorrow here. ACC still not level 4 here, so there will not be a refresh for that ultimate.
Yeah, but Fearless Esports, they're winning the map, right? And they're winning quite hard as well. They've been taking so many camps away from the side of Twisted Minds. And because of that, look, it's close to a 1,000 goal lead going in favor of Fearless.
But this is normal, right? Because you have to look. It's strong lanings thus far coming from FEHK. Their scaling is not to say worse than Twisted Minds, but once Twisted Mind goes for that 4 to 6 minute mark where the game is at an equal state within 1,000, that's when you see Twisted Minds start pushing forward with that double unending sorrow, double due to the death. That's where they excel in the game. But for now, early game, it's in the pockets of FEHK.
Agree. I think, you know, Twisted Minds definitely can really squeeze out a lot of value from their composition itself. Like, having a potential of double anything is great. They force out the unending sorrow. This is not a nice position to be in.
Flash.
Miku very well could be first blood. TL gets it. And that's a huge burst. Now, TL, it may not be the prior target you want on the side of Fearless Esports, but that ramps up his damage potential.
And those were beautiful creation blocks being placed by TL. He knows Highlang has no flash, and the unending sorrow does not allow you to cross walls here. That punishes Highlang in this early game exchange. But we see a teleport here coming in from 90 here. Don't think they want to contest this buff at all, because this Tyrant seems to be in favor of FEHK in the early game.
There's no way, right? You don't want to risk losing your Crimson buff as well, so they will leave it for naught. And now, Twisted Minds, they have to find a trade of some sort, because right now, Fearless Esports, this is a pretty strong vice grip over a 1,000 goal lead.
It indeed is, and you can see that Clean is actually collecting a lot of resources here as a Bright almost goes to bot lane.
Yeah, they are looking for the opening. It's really just to push them back. A lot of damage laid down. Annihilation as well. This is really showing you a preview of the damage that Fearless Esports can do. But here comes the turnaround with the duel to the death as well. Will not be able to find that finishing blow, but Twisted Minds just showing that there is some fight left in them in this early start of the game.
But fortunate news, right? Even though your bot side is on fire, Clean managed to steal a buff under broad daylight under Miku here. So that's good news at the very least for Twisted Mind in those exchanges here. But a bit of a communication mishap between Twisted Minds. It seems like Kaina and Clean were on the same page, but 90 didn't follow up for that flash mantra here. So that's a bit of a miscommunication coming in from TM.
Well, they definitely need to recover quick, right? Because they've just lost the T1 at the bottom. While they're able to tank, here comes the setup once again from Fearless Esports. The map, the space around the map is getting a little bit tight for the side of Twisted Minds. But the one person that can change this is already looking. They're lurking as well. But it is Shanks. Oh no, he has been taken down, and Twisted Minds suffer another kill taken from them as Fearless Esports. They were rounded up 2-0 at this point.
It's a big catch, especially onto a marksman here. That leaves the top side available for grabs coming in from FEHK here. They take the top turret for free. They take the kill on towards Shanks, and they are on the board with a 2,000 goal lead.
Yep, so double everything, right? Double the turret takes, double the goal lead as well. They are now comfortably at 2,000 gold ahead for the side of Fearless Esports.
2,000 gold in an early game setting with the pay with the Lady Sun, and Lady Sun is one of the best late game marksmen to really handle squishy heroes here. So that ultimate goes through on towards the side of Snow here, but it's so tanky.
Yep, who's catching who here? And it's not looking good for the side of Twisted Minds. The backup does come in, and Clean lost now in the middle of 4, and he will make it out. So Fearless Esports, they managed to deter him, but 90, what a catch with the Truth Mantra as well. The crucial initiation onto TL as well as Snow. There is no more damage to be offered. And another refresh comes in, the duel to the death, and Fearless Esports, they have to be fearing right now.
90 comes up clutch with that engage straight onto KK, eliminating TL as well on towards those exchanges. Beautiful stuff here coming in from 90's Dharma.
Yeah, and from a double, it is now double down. Twisted Minds, they have recovered. They've taken the T1 on the top, at the mid, taken the T1 down at the bottom as well. So gold-wise, they are neck and neck. In fact, you would even say they're slightly ahead of Fearless.
This is good map tempo here coming in from Twisted Minds here. And this is the prize engage opportunity that we keep talking about in the pick and bans here. You have the double Musashi ultimate. You have 90 with those crazy flank angles here. And so far, he's doing such a good job on the Dharma.
And this is the value of the pick, right? The composition on the side of Twisted Minds, which is they offer you options. There's a lot of flexibility. If it needs to be defensive, you can have the double unending sorrow. If it needs to be aggressive, you have the double duel to the death. And that's a scary situation to be in right now. Highline is looking for the setup for the team, unable to find something that they're looking for. 90 is going to be blocked off at the sidelines as well. In the meantime, this actually creates space for Shanks to get some free damage in the form of the arrow shower. At the same time, Clean, they're just pushing them around. They took that Azure Golem away.
Who is just further falling behind on that pay here. Level 13 against a level 11 pay. Queen is so dominant in that jungle lead as of this point here. Things are not looking good for this early game pay.
Yeah, Twisted Minds, they're looking for the setup. The bait is real coming up from Highline. They want to make sure that they're over-committing, and that's a lot of damage onto Woodwind as well. Clean is still hiding in the brushes. No, he will hit down onto the T2, stopped by that TP on the side of Snow as well. But Woodwind is so low, he's going to use his Unbridled Outburst. Where is the ultimate? Did not hit the mark, and ACC walks away for free.
He limps away just a bit of help and towards safety here. He still has a bit of breathing room here, but that is a lot of spells being thrown on towards the side of ACC on this Dolia to just allow him to limp away here. And furthermore, all these objectives are still going in favor of Twisted Minds here. More jungle lead, more lead for Queen.
Yes, they have completely flipped the script. Now they have that 1,000 goal lead in their hands, and pretty much a lot of map pressure as well. 3 turrets in comparison to the 2 that Fearless Esports have not found, any extra room to work with.
And the painful part in this exchange, coming in the 10th minute, there is no flash for KK here. That is a big target that 90 and Clean can really engage on. So If you're FE, not a big fight that you should be taking. But
hang on.
creation blocks.
There is a lot of damage coming in for the side of Twisted Minds. Not getting any kills, but this is a deterrence, right? Because when that 10-minute mark hits, I think TL should have his Annihilation off of cooldown already.
I gotta tell you, TL's Lua is so darn strong. He's been hitting all these creation blocks into the controls here. And look at Highland here, going so low, forced to use the Unending Sorrow.
Yes, so ACC now has to use his Celestial Melody. This is, it could be a pain point for the side of Twisted Minds, but they start working on that Tyrant, Shadow Tyrant at this point. It's going to be reset. Twisted Minds, they need to work around their positioning, and once again, the secondary Annihilation not going to hit the mark, but Woodwind is very low as well. They have to be really careful about this. The life bars are not an advantage for the side of FE. Woodwind will commit that Unbridled Outburst, and the value has dropped very steeply. Actually, Miku, this could be very risky for him. He needs to be very careful here.
FE has no more options. They have to back away from this Tyrant here. No Unbridled Outburst, no TL Ultimate here. They are giving away this for free as of this point here. Twisted Minds playing a beautiful poke and prod game, forcing the ultimate coming in, and almost a steal, but clean with a prime smite does secure it away.
How do they do this? They always make it such a nail biter, but Fearless Esports just unable to hit the mark, missed by a hair at that point. So Twisted Minds, they secure this Tyrant buff for the next 70 seconds. This means they have a little bit more map control if Fearless Esports make the wrong choice in a team fight.
Snow here getting forced away from the bush here. And I'm starting to think that, oh, this game is like probably like 10 versus 10 kills. But look at the kill score, it's 2 versus 2. But there's so much action happening across the gorge as of this point. But with Shadow Tyrant, it does give Twisted Mind more room to play in these team fights. More damage, more movement speed. It is go time for the boys in red.
Yeah, Twisted Minds, I think really now it's about, can you force Fearless Esports to reposition into an ideal position for your team? That's what Nighty is waiting on, right? He wants to set up the Mega Truth Mantra. Right now, Snow, there we go. Unable to hit the marker though, and the save does come in from the side of Woodwind. Is it going to be enough though? Annihilation onto Shanks. Oh, there's not enough damage. Shanks makes it out, and this can turn very sour and south for the side of Fearless Esports. They're looking for an opening on the side of Nighty. Manages to get some damage, and Shanks has a lot of protection, has to back off, and it's still looking good. Clean comes in with the cleanup as well, and it's 4 members down for the side of Fearless Esports with the minions marching in the mid lane as well. Woodwind will not be able to defend this, so that's an open wound in the middle.
10 seconds onto Snow here. Woodwind has to sell himself for this base, but the minions have gone through here, and another ultimate does slice him apart as the crystal is wide open. Game number 1 goes over to Twisted Minds.
What a big win. One shot, one opportunity they did not miss. And Twisted Minds, they are very focused today.
They are indeed very focused. The teamfight execution towards that late game was just so darn critical, especially on towards Shanks here. He found the 1v1. He found the collective kills, and it really delivered for his team in that success moment, in that final push.
So we'll take a look at that last replay of the fight later on, right? I think it really came down to the Celestial Melody value and the fact that Shanks was able to get a lot of free hits in. Like, nobody was able to lock him down. Snow tried, but he did not make it work.
I mean, it was really decent, right? The defense was pretty decent, and especially when we talk about Nighty finding those key moments, it was just a bit too short towards the wall. He actually found TL and KK, but the execution just slightly mishap coming in from this Clash laner here. But overall, the cleanup crew was there. It was in the form of Clean, it was in the form of Shanks, and they made it happen at the very last moment.
Yes, I think the biggest pain point really